Around 3500 BCE, between the Tigris and Euphrates rivers, Mesopotamia became the birthplace of human civilization. This fertile land transformed scattered tribes into organized societies with cities, governments, and complex social structures. In the ancient city of Uruk, humans carved words into clay tablets for the first time in history. These wedge-shaped cuneiform markings made knowledge immortal, allowing ideas to survive beyond a single generation through permanent written records. The Mesopotamians established Adobe, the world's first formal school system where children learned to write on clay. This innovation ensured knowledge would be systematically preserved and transmitted to future generations. They mastered water management by constructing elaborate canal systems that controlled river flows and directed water to agricultural fields. This first irrigation system transformed arid lands into productive farmlands and ensured food security. King Hammurabi of Babylon created one of humanity's first comprehensive legal codes with written justice as its foundation. His famous "an eye for an eye" principle introduced the revolutionary concept that laws should be documented and applied equally. As trade expanded, Mesopotamians developed early accounting systems using clay tokens and bulli to track transactions. This innovation laid the groundwork for all future financial record-keeping and economic management worldwide. Mesopotamian merchants shipped oils, copper, and lapis lazuli across vast distances, establishing the world's first global trade network. This commerce connected distant civilizations and fostered cultural exchange that shaped human development. Massive ziggurats rose as stepped temples where priests believed deities descended to earth. These architectural marvels symbolized humanity's desire to bridge the gap between mortal and divine realms. Around 3300 BCE, Mohenjo-Daro showcased unprecedented urban planning with streets laid out in perfect grid patterns. This Indus Valley city demonstrated advanced architectural knowledge that wouldn't be matched for thousands of years. Every house connected to an elaborate drainage system where waste flowed into covered street drains. Their sophisticated sanitation reflected a society that prioritized public health as a fundamental civic virtue. The Great Bath stands as possibly the world's first public bathing facility with waterproof construction. This structure suggests ritual purification held deep cultural and religious significance for the Indus people. Massive granaries stored surplus grain to protect populations from famine and ensure stability. This centralized storage demonstrated advanced administrative organization and social planning for community survival. Standardized stone weights ensured fair trade in all commercial transactions. These measurement tools enabled long-distance commerce extending to Mesopotamia, establishing the Indus Valley as a major trading power. Skilled artisans created exquisite jewelry from carnelian, shells, and gold that became famous throughout the ancient world. Their exceptional craftsmanship made Indus Valley products highly sought after in international markets. The mysterious Indus script remains one of archaeology's greatest unsolved puzzles, despite countless scholarly efforts. No one has successfully unlocked the full meaning of these ancient symbols or their stories. Around 3100 BCE, the annual Nile flood transformed Egypt's desert into fertile farmland, beginning a remarkable civilization. This predictable cycle provided agricultural abundance that supported one of history's longest-lasting cultures. Egyptians developed hieroglyphics, where each symbol told stories through pictures and sounds. These sacred characters preserved Egypt's history, beliefs, and knowledge for future generations to understand. Egyptian ships sailed to Punt, Syria, and Greece, spreading goods and influence throughout the ancient world. These maritime expeditions established trade networks that brought exotic products and innovations back to Egypt. Egyptian physicians pioneered medical practices, using plant-based remedies while carefully documenting their methods. This combination created one of the world's first systematic approaches to healthcare. Believing the soul was immortal, Egyptians developed sophisticated mummification to preserve bodies for the afterlife. Using natron salts and resins, they created preserved remains that survived thousands of years. Pharaohs ruled as living gods with absolute power over Egyptian society and culture. A single royal command could mobilize the entire nation to accomplish monumental projects. The Great Pyramid of Giza required thousands of workers and years of labor to ensure the pharaoh's eternal immortality. This monument represents the pinnacle of Egyptian architectural achievement and cultural devotion. By observing stellar patterns, Egyptian astronomers predicted Nile flooding and created the 365-day calendar. This innovation revolutionized timekeeping and agricultural scheduling, influencing calendar systems still used today. Around 2070 BCE, the Yellow River nourished early Chinese civilization with water and fertile silt. This mighty river taught the Chinese farming techniques that sustained their growing population for millennia. The Xia dynasty emerged when King Yu controlled devastating floods through engineering and united settlements under centralized governance. He established patterns of imperial rule that defined Chinese civilization for thousands of years. Ancient priests used oracle bones to communicate with spirits, inscribing questions and interpreting heat-formed cracks as divine answers. This practice created the earliest form of Chinese writing that evolved into modern characters. Chinese metallurgists mastered bronze working, creating superior tools, weapons, and ceremonial vessels. These artifacts showcase the exceptional skill and artistry of ancient Chinese craftsmen. The wooden plow transformed Chinese agriculture by making cultivation easier and more efficient. This breakthrough enabled farmers to produce 3 times more crops, supporting population growth and expansion. According to legend, an empress discovered silk production when a cocoon fell into her tea. This luxurious fabric became China's most prized export, making the Silk Road famous worldwide. Music served as the sacred language for communicating with divine beings in Chinese culture. Every prayer transformed into melodic arrangements, creating rich traditions, intertwining spirituality and artistic expression. Around 800 BCE, Athens became the intellectual heart of Greek civilization, where critical thinking flourished. This city-state fostered an atmosphere where questioning authority and seeking wisdom became fundamental values. Greeks invented democracy, allowing every citizen to voice opinions regardless of wealth or status. This revolutionary idea that ordinary people should participate in governance transformed political philosophy worldwide. Greek sculptors created statues capturing human strength and beauty with unprecedented realism. Each sculpture reflected ideals about physical perfection, setting artistic standards influencing Western art for millennia. Greek temples merged mathematics, art, and spirituality, with every column and measurement incorporating geometric ratios. These structures demonstrated how Greeks unified science and aesthetic beauty in architectural design. Socrates taught that freedom comes from critical thinking, while Plato and Aristotle expanded these philosophical foundations. Their comprehensive systems of thought dominated Western intellectual tradition and shaped educational methods throughout history. The Olympic Games brought athletes from rival city-states to compete peacefully in demonstrations of prowess. This tradition of international sporting competition established ideals of sportsmanship that continue today. Archimedes proclaimed he could move the earth given a firm place to stand and a long lever. This statement epitomized the Greek spirit of scientific inquiry, driving groundbreaking discoveries in mathematics and physics. In 753 BCE, Rome's founding along the Tiber River began a civilization that would dominate the ancient world. From humble beginnings, Rome grew into history's most powerful and influential empire. In 509 BCE, Romans established a republic where elected representatives made governmental decisions instead of kings. This system distributed power among various officials, creating a political model influencing countless governments throughout history. The Colosseum combined engineering innovation with artistic design, holding 50,000 spectators with complex underground systems. This amphitheater demonstrated Roman mastery of construction techniques and public entertainment on unprecedented scales. Roman cities featured sewage systems, public bathhouses, and bustling marketplaces serving all citizens. This emphasis on urban amenities made Roman cities remarkably sophisticated, setting standards for future urban planning. Roman aqueducts transported fresh water from mountains into cities through elevated stone channels using gravity. These structures delivered millions of gallons daily, providing fountains, baths, and households with reliable, clean water. Roman roads were engineering masterpieces, built with multiple layers for durability and drainage. The empire constructed over 50,000 miles of highways, connecting vast territories and facilitating trade and military movements. The Law of the 12 Tables established Rome's first written legal code, ensuring citizens understood their rights. This codification created principles like presumption of innocence foundational to Western legal systems today. Roman legions dominated through disciplined teamwork rather than individual bravery alone. Soldiers trained to fight as unified formations, creating military effectiveness that conquered territories spanning 3 continents. In 476 CE, the Western Roman Empire collapsed under economic troubles and invasions. However, Roman roads, laws, and architecture still influence modern civilization, proving great empires leave eternal legacies.